2, 1, go live. Hello. Welcome to the Easy Beasy podcast. We love to keep it nice and easy. As always, I'm joined by Brandon.
Yo, what's up?
And the wonderful, spectacular, fantastic, all of the adjectives. Lauren, how are you doing today?
Hello.
Today we decided to be fashionably late as dedication and as a let's say a tribute to an artist that we're going to talk about today. I'm making it sound like he just died. A tribute to an artist that we're talking about today. Kanye West. Now, those of you who have been following the podcast for a while, well, not even for a while, just for the past few weeks, have known that there's been ups and downs, lefts and rights regarding Mr. West's, or I should just call him Ye, because he's decided to change his name to Ye now. To Ye's upcoming 10th LP. But I'm glad to report today that it's finally here. It's finally here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
After all the ups and downs, after the many rants I have gone on,
many listening parties,
many listening parties, changed release dates. It is finally here, with a little caveat, and I guess we'll get into that a little bit afterwards. But I just want to talk about the album before it leaves, before it gets removed. So let's talk about it.
Yes.
Now, it's a 27-track album, a lot of tracks. There are, I want to say, 4 bonus tracks. So, 23, but, plus the 4 is 27. And all of us listened to it. It did release this morning. So it kind of threw our plans out the window. We kind of had to do some adjustments for the show because we were not expecting to do this at all. I gave this man an ultimatum. It's so funny.
Or he heard you in his sleep, within his nap, or at least
I don't know. I said if he doesn't release before Friday, it's over. It's GG. It's done. It's not releasing. It's not dropping, and it's just I can't I can't follow this anymore. It's too draining. So it released this morning, and sadly, or maybe not sadly, I don't know, not preemptively, but even 30 minutes ago, just as soon as 30 minutes ago, if you go on Instagram, Kanye said that apparently he did not release the album. This label released the album, and they prevented him from putting Jail Part 2, which is a semi-controversial track, which we'll talk about that track. But Jail Part 2, they didn't let him put it on there, and there was a whole thing with DaBaby and his DaBaby's manager not clearing it or whatever. There's a lot behind the album, right? A lot of things, but we're not here to talk about that today. At least not for the most part. For the most part, we're here to talk about the music. So I don't know. How do you guys want it? You guys want to just go through? I guess you guys have some notes and stuff or things you guys took note of.
I mean, unless you want to go in order, or we can just start with our favorites.
I think we can. Yeah, let's go in order. Why not?
Let's go in order.
Right. The first track is called Donda Chant. The best track on the album by far, not even close. It is absolutely beautiful. I cried.
I don't know when she hit that Donda. It hit a little different.
It hit different.
Yes, it did.
Different.
It hit my soul. I think I ascended to the fifth dimension, not the fourth dimension. That was on Kid See Ghost. Shout out to Kid Cudi. I ascended to the fifth dimension when she hit that dawn.
My third eye opened with that one.
All of us are a little bit more woke today because of that track. But no, that's just the intro track. Just I don't even know who it is on there.
Mom's name.
Yes, Donda. If you guys don't know, Donda is the name of Kanye West's mother who passed away in, I believe, 2007. And this album is kind of like an album dedicated to her. That's why it's named Donda. The intro track is just somebody saying Donda over and over again. So that's that track, right? Then you get into the first track, the real first track, the real opener, which is Jail, which has Jay-Z on it. Now, it's funny because there's a part 2 to this track. And at the third listening party, he played the part 2 and people thought that he removed Jay-Z from the track. But actually, it was not the case. Jay-Z is on here. I really like this track. It feels like an anthem, almost like a thing that you would like, the thing that you like chant at like a concert, like, yes, we're going to jail tonight. Like, I can see a concert full of like 30,000 or wherever, however many people
chanting
that hook.
Completely. Also, I would like to say I was doing a little bit of research on the lyrics and whatnot after I listened to the album, and it was interesting to think about when he was at the Atlanta Stadium and how his room looked like a jail cell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's interesting about Kanye is he's not gonna spoon feed you these things, right? A lot of artists, they'll do conceptual things, and it's like they make it a little easy for you to decipher, because they want people to just get it, But a lot of stuff that goes into this, which is it ties into an interesting conversation that we had about separating the artist from the art, and how sometimes an artist kind of makes that impossible to do. And this whole experience has made it impossible. That's why there's all these, you can find so much behind each of these tracks, because there's a lot that's been going on.
Every track is about something or someone in his life, and it's just so tremendous.
Yeah. So Jail was awesome. I love Jail. Jay-Z, I think fit great on the track. I think if we just want to talk about part 2, like I don't want to talk about it yet because it's not really the next track. But if we want to talk about part 2, I think the Baby's verse was better, but Jay-Z's fit the track more. Like I can sing I can rap along to Jay-Z's verse, and like kind of, I don't know. This is just an anthem to me,
My thing is, I don't like how DaBaby is trying to victimize himself for saying what he said within that rap. That's my beef with him.
Well, I mean, yeah, rich, musician with a bunch of yes men around him, they're gonna feel victimized anytime they get criticized for anything. Kanye does the same thing. I mean, it is what it is. He has a massive ego. I mean, like he has
a God complex.
He has a God complex. And it's not like he doesn't, like he knows all of this. It's not like he's not self-aware, which I at least appreciate that. Like, yeah, you're like have a massive ego and you have a God complex, but he finds ways to try to justify it, and sometimes it's just like I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, bro. And I think DaBaby here is kind of doing the same thing. Talking about how like y'all neglected me, or y'all taking food off my plate, and that's for my daughter too. And it's just like, dog, no, you're filthy rich, bro. No, bro. No, I'm sorry. Nah, that doesn't.
I also would like to say I feel like both the tracks are needed though, because it shows growth within Kanye. Because in Jail the first Jail, he mentions he took away his number from Kim so that she couldn't contact him. Right. So she would make excuses. But in Jail Part 2, he actually says, I think he said her numbers on block, explain yourself, which shows like, growth within him no longer cutting her off completely.
I think since we're talking about both of them, there's also a feature. I don't know if y'all knew this, but Marilyn Manson is on the hook of the Jail Part 2.
I noticed.
Obviously there's a lot of people. He was actually at the third listening party, and there's a lot of controversy behind not only that, but then also having him on Part 2. And people have gone back and forth debating on what it means, and having him and the baby on there. Both people are extremely controversial right now for their actions, things they said, things that they've done, especially Manson in his case. I mean, he has a bunch of accusations of sexual assault and stuff. And it's just like, again, this blurring the line between the music and the musicians behind it.
Right.
But it's like, when you put them on a song called Jail and you listen to like what the song is talking about, it's like it's really talking about this being put in, like, in my interpretation of it is, you're being put in this this like cell, but it's not like a real cell. It's more like a cell that, like,
it's a metaphorical one.
But because of what you've done, or like because of well, the like thing your about actions is like, it's like you're putting in this jail, but it's not a real jail. It's more like a thing to keep you
in check by societies.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to realize the song he says God's gonna post my bail, so I'm assuming he was referencing to the Bible.
Right.
And I don't remember exactly what part, because like I know a good bit about the Bible, but I'm not well versed in it. But I'm pretty sure he's talking about the two guys that were like preaching for the disciples. They got put in jail, but God actually got them and all of the other jailed people out because they were listening to the hymns that the two preachers were telling all of them, despite their sins, because they, were godly people, they were saved. So I want to say it has something to do with that as well.
Yeah, there are, of course, and throughout this album there are a lot of biblical references, talking about God and how God's gonna save him and bring him, and talking about him being closer. And I like the way it ties in, like he brings it all together with his how is he going to move past the pain and the trauma and the things that have gone on in his life, and like kind of how he's going to use God to do that. And I think you can, even if you're not a religious person, you can still get a lot out of what he's saying, just based off of how he's tying and making it, connecting it through his personal experiences. And I like when artists do that. I mean, this is actually to me a stark contrast between this album and his last album, Jesus is King, which is also very religious, but the difference was that one wasn't very personal at all. It felt like I was in like really bad like Bible study, like really, really bad. Like actually
at church.
Yeah, like nothing, but the music wasn't really as good, and there wasn't really anything personal or insightful being said, or there just wasn't any of that. And I think there's a lot of that here. See, we've only talked about we've talked about 2 tracks, I guess, technically. We were talking about the next track, I Know God Breathed on this, or I guess it's just called God Breathed now.
Yeah.
So that one was kind of gave me Yeezus vibes a little bit.
Completely.
From like the instrumental to Kanye's vocal performance. Vori did a great job on their verse, and as well. I think Vori was the only person that was on here. But it was a pretty straightforward track. And again, we just listened to this morning or this afternoon. So we're trying to pull out lyrical stuff from it, but obviously you need more time to digest to really
completely
get a full scope of it. It's just, it's definitely interesting. Like, what do you guys think about this track though? Was it
Brandon, would you like to go first?
Yeah, that was pretty good when it hit this number 3, the third track. I would listen to it, like I was going through my list and like rating it by 5 stars. I forgot what I rated it, but I know I rated probably in the 4 or the 5 range. I felt like it was a pretty good song, like something I would listen to. But if I want to like literally get into it, like we said, we really gonna have to deep dive into it and listen to it more.
Yeah, I think it's pretty, like I said, I mean, because the first part of it is just a song, and then the instrumental kind of rides out for the rest of it. But I do like that. It's a good, like, a few of these tracks, I will say, are like, someone said it online, I'm going to steal it from them. They're kind of like album tracks, where it's like, I'm not going to listen to this, like, let me just listen to this song one time. Let me pick this one song out and then listen to it. It's like either I need to listen to this within the context of everything else, or like something else, like kind of like or a certain vibe.
Honestly, I don't agree, because I guess because I related to it in a sense due to my late grandmother who passed earlier this year. I don't know, it just kind of hit different. And I guess a lot of people who could relate more to songs, they could listen to this separate from all the rest of them and still get what he's trying to say and vibe to it.
That's really interesting. I didn't think you would say that with this track, at least. But yeah, I definitely think it's a good contrast between Jail, and then I think it's a really good prelude to Off the Grid, which I think is one of the best tracks on here. That's one of my standouts.
Yeah, that's one of my too.
I think Off the Grid, it went hard from start to finish.
It did. Yeah.
Like, yes. Playboy Carti came in and did his thing. The hook was great. Fivio Foreign, yeah, the beat was really good, and then the beat switched into the drill beat, and Fivio, his verse was like really good. And then Kanye shocked me. His verse at the end of this really shocked me. Everyone's talking about the line, they playing soccer in my backyard, I think I see Messi. Everyone's talking about that line, how hard it is.
Yes.
It's pretty, especially due to, I mean, he made the album in the stadium, in the Ben Stadium, where Atlanta United plays. I know obviously Messi doesn't play for Atlanta United, but he did, it's bro. A soccer reference, yeah. So I like this track. It was really good. Let me just see. Hurricane was amazing. With The Weeknd and Lil Baby. I
love that vocals on, to be honest.
You said what?
I love The Weeknd's vocals on that one.
Oh, of course. That was such a good decision to have him on here.
Completely.
Funny enough, this track has been through so many transformations. It was supposed to be on the last album, then the last album got scrapped, then it was supposed to be on, that one, and then it was supposed to be on this one. And then there's a new version of it, and then The Weeknd showed up at the last minute, and then it's just, I don't know. This track went through so many transformations, and it's finally out, so that's great. Praise God. That's the one with Travis Scott. Yep, that was amazing.
Yes.
Instrumental it reminded me a little bit of like Cruel Summer.
I want to say my favorite lyric from that one was him saying, "I need a new girl. My old one was mean." And I felt like that was a little bit of a diss to Kim. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying.
Who said that? Was that was Kanye saying that?
Was that Kanye?
Okay. I don't know. That Baby Keem also had a verse on here. And him and Travis, they killed their features. Really, all of these. I'm just gonna say, really, most of these features, like they killed it. Honestly,
Yes.
Kanye has a tendency of bringing out the best in people when they feature on his albums. So definitely a really great. I love the way they incorporated his mother. If you guys didn't know, the woman who was speaking at the beginning and like on the track Donda, that's his mom. So I love the way he incorporated that and sampled that into the sample. Jonah was cool. It didn't really like stand out to me or anything
Really?
crazy like that.
Yeah, that's where I told Lauren.
Depressed, but the chorus kind of hit a little different.
The chorus is really good. Of course, it's really good. Of course, it's really
Yeah.
good.
But the rest of it didn't stand out. You are right on that.
Yeah, didn't really. Yeah, and then okay. Again, the hook was great. But then the verses. I think the first.
Personally, I thought the first okay was good, but when I heard part 2 with I don't know what the girl is.
Shanessa or Shanisa or something like that.
I stopped dead in my track when she came on. It was completely transformational.
It was really good.
Way better.
It was really good. I think Lil Yachty's verse was like the worst feature on the album, in my opinion. It's not to say it was bad, right? But it just was low energy and it didn't really stand out. I can't really think of a single like line or anything like that from it.
I don't know, because Ariana didn't really stand out on here too, and she's in it also. So I want to say I'll give him a little credit.
Well, okay. You know what's funny? Apparently that's not Ariana. Apparently that's someone else. And it's apparently it's not Ari. Like she posted on her story. Like basically is like giving credit to the person who actually did it.
Okay. Well, my mistake.
And
some people can sound like each other.
So I don't know. I mean, that was interesting. I don't even know how it got out like that, where everyone's saying it was Ariana, but actually wasn't. I don't know. That's the internet for you.
She was on the track list.
Yeah, somebody put up a track list and then said Ariana Grande on it. For the track Donda, the hook. And I guess that wasn't her. I still don't know, honestly. Maybe it is her, and I don't know. She's tripping. I don't know if she doesn't remember. Maybe she doesn't remember, bro. I don't know, dude. At this point, it's just been so wild. Like, but yeah, Junior, one of my personal favorites. It's just so wacky and goofy, and just a turnt track.
Same
definitely,
with part 2.
Definitely so turn. Yeah, part 2 has Ty Dolla $ign, I want to say. And it's really good as well. Like, I don't know. Part 2, I need to let it marinate a little bit more. But I don't know which one I like better. But Junior period is really good.
Yeah. Believe what I say. I was really sorry.
No. Go ahead, please.
But I was so excited to hear Lauryn Hill, her song to be sampled on there.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. It just made me so excited because like I haven't heard her song sampled in too many like modern day rap songs, if songs at all. That was like really nice.
Believe what I say. There are a few. I think there's like 2 or 3 or 4 tracks on here that I could say are like one of the best Kanye's ever made. I think Believe What I Say is one of them.
That monologue.
It is amazing from top to bottom. The whole he posted a snippet of it like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago or something like that. 30 seconds, and everyone on the internet was like, oh my gosh, sounds great, but he's never gonna put on the album. And then he puts it on at like the last minute. And everyone's like, yo, and it not only met expectations, it exceeded it. This track was amazing. The sample, Kanye's vocal, the hook was so good. It gave me Graduation vibes. the breakdown, the guy coming in giving the little speech, and then the beat coming back again. Everything about it from top to bottom. It's just a really feel good track. Really feel good. If I need to put a smile on my face, I'm playing this track. And then 24 is like that, but like in a different way, in the sense that it's like, believe what I say is lifting you up, right? And then 24 is taking you away.
Yes.
Completely.
Completely.
That track is very gospel heavy. This whole album is very gospel heavy or influence.
Yes.
The 24 is like it's taking you away, and it's like it's this whole spiritual experience. And yeah, it hits hard, I think. Remote Control.
That one was such a funny track.
It was really fun. It's really fun. It's really fun. I mean, when you have Young Thug on a track like this, it's just always gonna be a good time. And then the sample at the end to everyone. I am the glub or however it goes. That was actually one of like my favorite things. Like before,
it caught me so off guard.
It really did. Yeah. I heard it at the third listening party. When I was like, "Are you serious?" I was happy because of how ridiculous it was, but then I was sad when I realized he took Cudi off of this track. Kid Cudi was supposed to be on this track, and he took him off and placed him with this. And I'm like, yo, are you beefing with him or something? Is this Lift Yourself Part 2? Is this Poop Scoop Part 2? Like, what are you doing?
The vibe that I got from it too.
But I was happy to say that Cudi was still on Moon.
Okay, I want to talk about that.
Please talk. This is one of the other tracks I say is one of his best he's ever put out. This
one had me crying at work. So I have a personal beef with Kanye right now. So let's see me crying at work. But I will say, the entire time I was listening to this song, it reminded me, I don't know if too many people watch Disney movies, but the one with like the emotions or whatever, when her stuffed animal was about to die, and he goes, "Take her to the moon for me, okay?" That's all I could think of this entire song, because that scene was just so sad, and same for the song. It was just a lot.
Yeah, I mean, from start to finish, the Don Toliver comes in with that infectious repeating, I don't go to the moon. It's like, it's so good the way it's incorporated into the beat. Mm-hmm. The guitar comes in, and Cudi and his humming. Yes. Kid Cudi, my boy. I'm thankful that he was not removed from this one. It's really beautiful. That's the only way I can describe it. Heaven and Hell is one of my personal favorites. I won't say it's like, I think it is one of the best tracks on this album. I won't say it's one of his best tracks ever. Like I said for Believe What I Say in Moon. But it's one of the best tracks on here. The drop is just nasty. It's so nasty.
Yeah, I really like this one.
It's so nasty. That's another one's gonna go crazy in the concert when the beat drops. Donda, I think this is I like what he did with this, right? Because at first this track was the intro, and it had Pusha T on it. He removed Pusha T off of this one. Sad. I love Pusha T. That's the dog. He's
but I like the vibe that it gave without anyone on there. That Donda just it hit a little different, being that it was just him reminiscing about the stuff that he used to go through and whatnot. It was just really nice.
Because this track had a Kanye verse and a Pusha T verse kind of like mixing into it. It's not on here anymore, but in terms of where it's placed, I think it serves a good purpose of breaking apart the album and kind of like taking us I think this is the part of the album, this indicates the part of the album where Kanye is kind of reaching a spiritual awakening and kind of finding God and moving on and using that to kind of move on from his traumas and from his pain and be free from all of that. I think this is a good split point. Keep My Spirit Alive. Pretty good track. The hook was great. Casey did his thing on here. And it wasn't like, the craziest thing ever, but I like it. I like it personally. There was a verse by West Side Gun. There you go. Well,
I didn't really get too much from that track, to be honest.
And Conway the Machine. When you go on there's so many different versions of all these tracks. When you go on Genius, it's like, I don't know if you're actually giving me the right person.
Yes.
Right.
So I'm sorry if this is incorrect. I'm sorry if we say any incorrect information on here. But no, I thought this track was cool. Tanish says that Pusha T bullied a man into becoming a better father due to that shit. I didn't want to bring up I didn't want to bring up the story of Added On. But yes, Pusha T is responsible for completely bodying Drake into next century. Yes, I listen. Drake is my boy too, but yeah, that was a no. It's just nothing you can do about it. You just gotta move on, man. The next track is Jesus Lord. This one was great.
Yes.
Jay Electronica just snapped. His flow was insane. Wordplay was insane. Kanye's verse was really great storytelling. Talking about, the cycle of pain and violence that goes on, and how it affects, all this pain can affect everybody in your family, like, one thing. And I love how that connects into the end with the guy talking about his father being in jail and how it affects his family and his children. Is nothing to say more about that. It's so part two part two was actually the original version from like the first from the second listening party. And it had the Locks, which is an old hip hop group on there, and they had 3 verses, or the 3 of them had verses on there, so it was a posse. It's a posse cut basically.
Okay.
It's both versions are really good. I like this one just because this is more like I can sit down and listen to this easier than the other one. The other one is really long, but it's still really good though. Everybody from part 1 and part 2, all the verses are amazing. New Again is really good. Great hook. Gives me graduation vibes too, just like Believe What I Say.
It gives getting baptized vibes.
Yeah,
like that's the type of song you listen to as they're about to dunk you in the water. That's all.
That'd be a pretty
right.
That'd be pretty like crazy song. It's like, like it's just this constant upbeat, like tech, like funky, like it's just a really I like the energy that it brings. And the Kanye's verse is great. Honestly, Kanye's rapping on this, in my opinion, is the best it's been in a long time.
Yeah.
I think like not only, I think more so from I'm really looking at this more so from a technical perspective. Like his flow is fantastic on pretty much all these songs. But yeah, New Again was great. Tell the Vision. Is this the Pop Smoke? Yeah, this is the Pop Smoke.
Yes, man. I like this song very much. Like
I really like the beat to this one.
So okay, let me explain this one. All right. Let me explain. Now this is like he took Pop. I think this is from an old Pop Smoke song, right? I think he took this and I think they removed the vote. You know, they have these little things where that you can remove the vocals from a track, but you can still kind of hear it in the background.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of what he did, and then he just put it on the album, I guess, as a tribute to Pop Smoke. I consider this more of an interlude, right? It's just quick in and out. Pop Smoke does his thing, and that's it, right?
Yes.
So I don't really, you know, I kind of view it through that lens. So through that lens, it's fine. You know, if it was meant to be a standalone song, I mean, it's not good. I mean, so I'm just gonna say, in my opinion, right? Like but if it's just, you know, meant to be a tribute and an interlude and stuff, and it's just like, you know, then I like it, you know. But if it's like meant to be, yeah, you know, just a song with, you know, Pop Smoke's like just like weirdly removed vocals, it's just like, no, it doesn't work. But I think that it does its thing and doesn't overstay its welcome. So from that point, I will say I thought it was good. Lord, I Need You was really good. This is a song talking to his ex-wife, Kim Kardashian.
Nice. Sweet.
Go ahead.
I said it was really nice. It was a really sweet song, to be honest.
Yeah, it was. It really was from start to finish. It was really good. I felt a lot of parts, you know, he was talking about it just you know, like cussing at your baby mama. I guess that's why they call it custody, you know.
But yeah, I remember the first listening party when I told you, like, when I listened to it, right? No, you know, I know what the cussing is called, custody or something like that. I think when I brought that lyric when I first had.
Oh yeah. I'm not. Yeah, honestly, it is a really good personal track. It reminds me of Wouldn't Leave. I think this is I don't want to say antithesis. I'm not sure if that's the correct word, but this is kind of like the juxtaposition I can see between this track and Wouldn't Leave. That was the song off of Ye, his album he dropped in 2018, I believe. So yeah, pretty good. And then we get to Pure Souls. Pure Souls
was so amazing.
So good.
Yes.
So good. This is the third track that I would say is one of the best he's ever done. Roddy Ricch just killed that. Roddy Ricch, listen, bro, Roddy Ricch got it. He's got it. I don't know what else to say. He's got it. He doesn't I don't know what else to say. Roddy Ricch killed that verse. I mean that hook. Kanye, you know, great rapping. They had great chemistry. And then at the end, who was that at the end? Who was that?
Not quite sure.
Shensia. I think that was Shensia. She did really good. I don't know who this is or where she came from. But she did her thing for real. And I honestly was kind of put into shock. Really, I did not expect this. I think this is one of the best tracks on the album. This is one of his, you know, best tracks he's made in a long time. Hopefully this really is a hit. Honestly, this really is. I don't have anything to say. It was one of my personal favorites. Now,
Come to Life, on the other hand.
The run of this track, Come to Life, and then what's the last track on here? No Child Left Behind. That 3-track run, to me, I think that's one of Kanye's strongest endings to an album. If we're going to consider this the end, I think that's one of his strongest endings. Come to Life. This one for me was the one that I think this is the 4th song I was talking about in terms of the best tracks he's ever done. This is his most beautiful track ever. Yeah. I want any of you listening to this to come try me and send me a Kanye song that is more beautiful than this. You will not find it. The the vocal performance, the piano when
The
it comes in, like you can really feel what
the
he's
emotion
saying
through him as he's saying all this. It's really deep.
I mean, and talking about him, you know, you know where to find me. They cannot define me, so they crucify me. So phase when I leave, like I think this is another one I could personally. I'm gonna learn all the lyrics to this track for 100% for sure. Like this is just it's just an experience. It's one of the best tracks ever. Lift Yourself is better. Okay, all right. All right.
Hands, okay? And I will say that on the record, sir or ma'am. But I'm just saying, I'll throw hands over this song.
Yeah, this song is something else. No Child Left Behind. Great closer. Again, I assume this is the closer, and then the last 4 are bonus tracks. Great closer. No Child Left Behind. Obviously, I feel like my interpretation of this is he's not being left. He's moving forward. It's funny because he's moving forward from the loss of his mom, but in that process, it's like he's become closer to her. In a way.
Yeah. I also want to say this is another one that was mostly more so pointing to back to the Bible and saying that God doesn't leave his children behind as well. And that one just it was really nice. It's really nice.
Yeah. And then so we already talked about all the part 2s. Now will you guys go and say like your personal favorites on here? I feel like I kind of already said mine, but
Brandon,
you guys have some.
Mine would take a minute because I had to go and buy a list. But I remember I like Off the Grid, Jail, Television. Like the track that had like the heavy instrumentals. So me, like I like it's the instrumentals to me.
Yeah.
You know me. So basically,
the production is like fantastic on this. Phenomenal.
Personally, I liked more of the sad songs. So like Moon, right. Come to Life, Jail, and Okay Part 2 were really, really good. Those are in my top favorite lists. And then of course Pure Souls was really nice as well.
Yeah. Like I say, this is a pretty good album.
Okay. So what thoughts overall on the album? Just overall before Kanye takes it off
I feel like Drake gets over on sales, but he can't top the album. Like how gorgeous the album is. I don't think he can stand.
You're talking about Drake.
Yep. That is what I'm saying. But then again, you gotta realize I don't like Drake. So
okay, see,
bias.
Right. Okay. Go ahead, Brandon. I'll adjust that. Go ahead.
I know I've been seeing this around. Loverboy, Donda. People are saying if Drake doesn't. if Kanye doesn't drop this, Loverboy probably be out. But you can see in the mix, if Loverboy drops, we haven't heard it yet, but we don't know how it's gonna hit. But Drake, one of the greatest of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Objectively speaking, yes, Drake is one of the greatest.
Yes,
it's definitely of our generation.
Yes. Was it selling the best records over 10 years? I think that's the word for that. I forgot what they called it, and some of the other stuff. I don't know. Talking about Drake, did I get seated when he rented out the Dodger Stadium for his date?
That's peanuts. Kanye rented out and lived in Mercedes-Benz Stadium for like 2-3 weeks. I think that's a little bit cooler.
I know it's a little more than
just a little bit. That's what kind of flex. So I think overall the album is fantastic. I think it's going to take some time for it to marinate, for people to really get their true feelings on it. I think some people are capping online and they're talking about the album. And I know some of y'all, I've seen some of y'all, how y'all operate. Y'all will press play, right, for 2 seconds. You'll listen to the first 30 seconds of the track and then move on. And listen to the first 30 seconds and move on. Then keep doing it again. Oh, I listened to the album. It sucked. You know, I know how y'all do. I've seen it. You know, so a lot of people are posting their reviews online and their whatever is and stuff, and they barely listened to it, barely digested it. Or maybe you listened to like 2 tracks and said it sucked, you know, on all the Drake stands out there. Listen. I think that when it comes to stuff like this, especially considering how much is in it, it's going to take a while for everyone to really truly get their final honest opinions on it. And even then, music is such a fantastic thing when due to the fact like Yeezus, everyone I feel like has a different opinion on Yeezus than when it first came out. I don't think I've met one person who has the exact same opinion on it than when it first came out, unless you haven't listened to it since, you know, or you only listened to it once maybe. But if you give albums like time to like kind of shape and grow along with your mindset and listen to it through different lenses, I feel like you'll have different experiences through it. So I say all that to say, at this moment, right now, I think that Donda is a fantastic album. If I were to give it a rating right now, what'd you say?
9 out of 10.
What do you think, Brandon?
About the same. Oh, I probably said 9.5 out of 10. It's pretty close to 10. It's close to 10.
It's very close to 10.
I would say. I would say probably 9 if I had to round, if we're doing points.
Eve, so
yeah, we think.
Yeah, for
so.
now.
Yeah, for now.
For now, it's here for now until it's gone forever.
Yep.
So listen to it while you can, folks.
Yeah, before it goes to a different dimension.
Tanish says, now we need Kendrick Lamar to drop an album.
Yes.
Woo!
Woo!
Boy, don't get me started on Kendrick Lamar.
All right.
Oh,
What did he just release a song or something?
He did with his cousin Baby Keem, who was on this album on the track with Travis Scott. I think Kendrick's verse on that track, and we just want to talk about that real quick. I think it was hilarious. It was very charismatic. I liked it. It was goofy. It was energetic. Yeah, Kendrick. He listen. I don't know if I've really described my mindset when it comes to these like my most favorite massive like big artists. Kanye is one of my favorites ever. Kendrick is also one of my favorites ever. Whenever it's the time for them to drop, all I'm bumping is their music. So right now it's Kanye season. So that's all I've been bumping, right?
Kanye season.
When it's Kendrick season, best believe I'm putting on Good Kid, Mad City, and Section 80, and Pimp a Butterfly, and you know, and just and really just going back and diving deep into those, because every time I listen to it, I feel like I pull out something that I've never heard before. He's just so lyrically dense, and there's so much meaning behind his music. I cannot wait to see what he does. But hopefully Kanye, the album stays up, and you know, that whole label situation gets figured out, because that's tough.
Yeah, that's tough.
We already got the album, so it's kind of too late, though. No takesies backsies.
No taking it back. It's
No
here.
takesies
Everyone's waiting for it, man. Just don't take it back.
No takesies backsies. It's pretty good. We have a new segment on our show. It's pretty. I'm going to preface this. If you have children in the room, tell them to leave. Okay, they should not be getting exposed to this content.
It's not that bad.
Oh yes, it is. Oh yes, it is.
Bad.
I almost had to go to the hospital yesterday because my brain was so broken over the sacrilege that was being thrown at me. So
same way on this, like I was still broke even by the time when I sleep. My brain's like, is it ever gonna come back to normal again?
yeah. I don't know if I will ever recover, but I'm gonna let Lauren share what she has to say, and we're gonna have a quick little conversation.
Yes.
Before we get out of here. Let's go ahead and do it.
So welcome to Lauren, Mad Scientist. I have another controversial topic for you guys.
Hello, Lauren,
Hello.
Mad Scientist.
Yes.
What kind of mad science do you have for us today?
Cereal, okay? For those of you who are either lactose intolerant but don't like milk like I don't, why keep struggling with a spoon when you can just use a fork? It's so much more resourceful. The milk just goes right through the holes in the fork. It's perfect.
What was that? What was that? I'm sorry.
That's a little bit of an exaggeration. I'm just saying it makes sense and it's useful. For those of us that cannot stand milk, it's very helpful because then you can eat the cereal with half the milk. I know some of y'all out there like wet cereal. We're not psychopaths, so we're not going to eat water cereal. We're going to use milk. We just want to reduce our consumption of how much milk actually goes into our mouth. So these two, my co-hosts, called me crazy, but I'm not. Or I did a poll on my personal Instagram. Shout out to the Lore Monster. You can follow me on Instagram. But out of 75 people who saw the post, 31 of them answered. And 14 of those 31 said that it's smart, that it's a worth it occasion. And that was with no context. So therefore, 14 other people at least agree with me that eating cereal with a fork is not psychopathic, but very useful.
All right. Now, let me represent the normal population of humanity.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, my fellow normal person.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Let me give some context. Can I do that?
Sure.
Lauren says that she does not like milk. Okay.
No, I don't.
She doesn't. So I asked her, if you don't like milk, then why do you use milk with your cereal?
Because I want wet cereal sometimes. Sometimes the occasion's good for dry cereal. Another time the occasion's good for wet cereal. It's just a different craving.
So you don't like milk?
No.
But you want wet cereal?
Occasionally, yes.
Okay. She says specifically that she does not like cow milk. She can drink soy milk, but she does not like cow milk. Mm-hmm. So then my other question was, why don't you just drink soy milk then? Right?
Correct. It's not
and
always-
she says it's not always available. That is her answer. Am I wrong or am I right?
No, you're absolutely correct.
Okay.
And I stand by my choices.
Okay. So then I asked, okay. So you don't like milk, but you want the cereal. So then why don't you just eat dry cereal? She says, sometimes I just want wet cereal. So you want your cereal to be soggy, but you don't want to drink the milk with the cereal.
No.
So then I asked her, what do you do with that excess milk? And she says to me, oh, I just, if Taco is around, Taco is her dog.
Yep.
If Taco is around, I just put the bowl down and just, let him at it.
You said to put the bowl down. I poured it in his dog bowl like a good mother. Okay.
I don't care where you put it. It doesn't matter where you put it. I detest this from the bottom of my soul. This is so unnecessarily convoluted. Okay. I feel like if you don't like milk that much that you're willing to go through all of this. Now, the people in the poll, I will give them the benefit of the doubt. I think they're just thinking, oh, she's talking about, just to save money, like that meme, I eat cereal with a fork. because I'm so broke. You know, I think they're all thinking about that, but they don't know the context behind. I made sure to question Lauren so I can get proper context behind this. And it was one of those rare times where I got an explanation and it made it make even less sense. How is that even possible?
I think at that point, my brain just started to go.
Brandon and I, we were just gone. Our brains were broken.
Like it made perfect amounts of sense if you crave food the way that some people do. You know, everyone's different though. I understand the difference in opinion. I don't know if I would call y'all normal for the difference in opinion, but we'll say we can agree to disagree. But eating cereal with a fork, if you don't want that much milk in your mouth while you're eating the cereal, is very useful. I will stand by that choice.
Tanish says, and I don't know, we might need to call the police here. He says, just pour water in your cereal. No calories, no milky taste. Wait. Hold on. Just pour water in your cereal. No calories, no milky taste. Wet cereal. Good dish for a psychopath. Well, you know what, sir? I'm glad we have self-awareness here. I'm glad you know that is a insane combination. I think that is.
We gotta, like I said, we can square up, Tanish. I will put that on the record, Tanish. It is not psychopathic to eat cereal with a fork. It is normal, and it is useful.
You know, it's like I made this analogy yesterday. It's like, you know, before the pandemic, you know, everybody would think, oh, okay, like if there's this deadly, dangerous virus, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone just like, you know, just stay away from each other and like try to do whatever to make it go away. And then you realize when it actually happens, no, actually, not everyone thinks the same way that you do. And it's the same thing with this. It's like, oh, everyone just, you know, pours cereal in the bowl, puts the milk in the cereal, gets their fork. Gets their spoon, and then, you know, eats a cereal, and then that's it. But no, we've had this conversation so many times on this podcast through various different degrees, different angles.
Yes, the first one we brought up was,
do you put the milk before the cereal? Lauren, do you put the milk first, or the cereal first? Which one?
Cereal first, because I would like equal amounts, or if not less, milk. So I like to watch how much milk is actually going in the bowl. If I was to put the milk first, I'm gonna have way too much milk, and then I'm just gonna be unhappy.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So like part of your brain works regularly, but then the other part is just like in the 10th dimension, where like we're just not even
higher,
where
level.
we don't even understand your thinking, like just a higher plane of existence. Hey, I get it. Listen, you know, it is what it is. Maybe Tanish, one day I'll be woken up.
I would like to read Tanish's other comment. He said, fork with a cereal is like eating chicken soup with a fork. It's a crime against humanity.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
I don't eat chicken soup often unless I'm sick, which is rare.
Would you eat it with a fork?
The chicken.
We're moving on. Yeah, we're moving on. We're moving on. That was you paused too quick. You paused too much. I'm scared of. I don't even want to know what she has. I don't even want to.
Yep. As we bring more ideas.
I grab the chicken pieces better.
Oh my gosh, that's enough mad science for one day.
Yep, that's enough.
That's enough. Let's get on with the next segment.
Yes. Welcome back to Talk with That Blind Guy. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on. No YouTube boxing, game releases, album releases. There's just a lot of stuff going on in the sport. For one, today, Jake Paul versus Tyron, whatever his name is, in the home city of Jake Paul and Logan Paul. What is it? Ohio, right? Yeah. And also
Ohio is the state. I don't know which city exactly.
Whatever they're from, they're gonna be there. All right. My mind, like I said, my mind has been broken again during this podcast. So
yeah. Yeah, we're kind of our brains are kind of all over the place. So
Yes,
we're gonna be limping to the finish line for the rest of this.
Yeah. So also, if you are an Xbox gamer and you remember Saints Row 1, 2, 3, and how many every series there were, they're making a reboot, and I'm sad I won't be able to play it because I remember seeing the Saints Row 3 or 4. It was a cool weapon. It was kind of immature, but it's pretty cool. And then I believe one was called Gat Goes to Hell. I remember that series too. What else? Yeah. And a lot of pro wrestling news. CM Punk returns, spoils ATs about who might be returning. Y'all can go catch that out on All Elite Wrestling channel. And be honest, All Elite Wrestling seems to be outdoing WWE because they've been getting a lot of, top rated superstars.
So okay, AEW is not affiliated with WWE, or I don't. Is there like what's the? I know it's probably if somebody follows wrestling, like, what are you talking about? That's a dumb question. I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So All Elite Wrestling is like under another owner, sending go for WWE. WWE's owned by Vince the McMahon family.
Right.
I don't know how this is confused, but I think All Elite Wrestling and Impact Wrestling are joint because Christian Cage is actually the Impact champion, and then Kenny Omega is the All Elite Wrestling champion. So I don't sure what's been going on with that company, Impact Wrestling, but back then they had the cool stuff. That's where if a WWE superstar got fired that kind of year, that's where they're headed, Impact Wrestling. But
I used to follow wrestling a lot when I was younger, and I just have memories of after Friday Night SmackDown, what I'm saying, me and my brothers, we would try out some of the moves. We would use the how they had chairs, we would use like pillows as the chairs, where they would pull all the chairs and just like, what I'm saying, and and it was just, I don't know, it was a good time. It was a great time.
If you're also, I guess everyone you remember Kane, the demon?
Yes.
He's actually a mayor.
Really?
In real life.
Mayor of is in what state?
I forgot what city? Said. I forgot. He told us, but I can't remember the name off my head. He's legit a mayor. Yes.
That is interesting. Yeah, a lot of wrestlers, obviously, Dave Bautista, The Rock, John Cena, they have a lot of successful careers after wrestling. So shout out to them, man.
For example, Dwayne The Rock Johnson's Jungle Cruise just came out. Black Adam should be coming out under DC Comics with him. John Cena just had a Suicide Squad too.
Right.
Dave Bautista's working on Guardian of the Galaxy again, I think.
The Spider-Man trailer dropped.
Yep, Spider-Man.
I'll always have a place in my heart for Spider-Man, even though I'm like, I have reached past the point of where I'm done with Marvel, but it's just like at the same time, it's still Marvel. I think they got me hooked. Yes. It's just like I'm checked out. It's funny. It's like mentally I'm checked. No. In my heart is like checked out. Like I'm not really invested emotionally, but like mentally I'm just keeping up with it just because I'm already in too deep. So it's like, why stop? But Spider-Man is a different story. I love Spider-Man. That's the boy. So
soon we have Windows 11 coming up. Also, iOS 15 should be coming up soon too.
Quick, Lauren, what processor does the iPad Pro have? Quick, go.
1.
All right, and that's it for today's podcast. If you guys have been listening to us on YouTube, I appreciate you all. Please go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share this with whoever you can. Shout out to Tanish. As always, I'm going to do the outro. I cannot believe you said 1. We told you the answer yesterday, and you managed to give a worse answer.
It went from hold on before we go. It went from 4. It went to 1. Oh wait.
From 4 to 1. To be fair, it is called the M1.
Yeah, so I think
I did say 1 M at one point. It was just backwards. I was really close, guys.
We just put it under pressure. So guys, It's okay if we are not technically advanced with technology.
Quick, what processors does the iPhone have? Quick, 5, 4, 3. Which processor does the iPhone have? The newest iPhone. What processor does it have? Quick.
That one I forgot. 4.
All right, y'all. That has been the Easy Beasy podcast. We've had a great time talking about Donda. Shout out to Kanye West. Hopefully Donda remains on all streaming platforms. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this with whoever you can. We're trying to get to a whole lot of subscribers at the end of the year. We won't say the goal yet, but I hope y'all stick around and keep it easy and beasy. Shout out Lauren and Brandon. Love y'all.
Oh, I love you too.